Yo, crypto nation mining family, what's going on out there? What's up? All you happy hashers, I'm Nemesis, and our substitute, Mikkel, is Sunday. What's up?
Mikkel's too busy. He's too busy for us now, I know, so.
I know, he's out in Nashville hanging out with Trump, the Trumpster.
Yeah.
The Trumpster.
Oh,
Considering that, you know, is it because Mikkel is there and Trump is there that we had the Trump pump?
Probably.
I mean, that's just like two epicness right together, you know.
I mean, nothing beats an Elon pump, you know. But
Right. But a Mikkel and Trump in the same vicinity, I mean, that's greatness right there. I'm just saying. That could be the whole pump. I mean, FA in the Chizity chat for the Mikkel Trump pump. And of course, Mikkel is out there with everybody over at Terra Hosting, and I believe now he is working with Terra Hosting also. So it's now become a YouTube-run company a bit, with some kind of financial backing behind it all too. So that's good for them. Good for them.
heck yeah.
And I know Peter Saddington was out there too. I know our boy Crypto Bedell is out there. Oh God, brain fart. Our buddy from Las Vegas.
Brian?
No. He was part of the whole yen thing. That oh God.
Oh jeez, what are you doing?
I can't. My brain just like completely fart. But there's a whole bunch of all of the community members out there and stuff. Groove Dude, that's it. Yeah. Groove Dude. I'm like, it'll come to me. Give me a second. Fire on all cylinders, damn it. And Groove Dude is out there. So I mean, there's a lot of cool people, a lot of good stuff. You know, it's like I know that Max Kaiser is out there. So, I mean, it's a big event. The reason why you don't see my ass there was that them fucking tickets were $750 a fucking pop. Otherwise, my ass would have been down there too.
Come on, that's only like one Bitcoin. Like 10 years ago.
Right. It's like, good God. I couldn't believe how, I mean, but when you got that kind of notoriety that was going to be attending, I guess you can charge a little extra. Dude, I would have loved to go
to anything.
To be down there. Not so much like I wouldn't care if that was if Trump was there or not. But I like for the other notable people in the crypto space that are like OGs, you know, Max Kaiser was there. You would have damn well fucking bet I would have been all over him going, bro, interview, come on. I'm like, I'm gonna be fucking relentless at this point. I'm gonna be as relentless as fucking Bitcoin is.
Please, sir, can I spare 5 minutes of your vocals, please?
Right, on fucking camera. It's like, oh.
No camera? Fine. How about just audio?
Right, exactly. I'll fucking scrub the fucking video. Oh. I'm like, Max, come on. Rip some money up. It's like that somebody had asked him, like, they were like, how much money have you ripped up over the years? And he's like a few $1,000s. I was like, oh crap.
I mean, if you have billions, like, I mean, I don't think he has that many, but
no, he's not billions, but he's a multi-millionaire from the stock market from back in the 80s.
But just Just think of that billion, what it takes to get to a billion.
And to know that Elon, I mean, not Elon, that to know that Max Kaiser came out from El Salvador to be there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that's where he now resides. He lives in El Salvador. He's got his dual citizenship.
That's crazy. I didn't know they let people still get dual citizenships these days.
Oh yeah, it can be done. It still can be done. So this way, whenever a country decides to lock down, be like, oh no, hold on, I have this passport. I need to get home.
Think about it like that. That's crazy, dude.
They're like, this is not my country. I need to go home.
When it's convenient, right?
Hell yeah, brother.
When it's convenient.
Bitcoin don't have no borders. You should be as decentralized as your money.
Yeah, I belong to no one.
Right? That's why I want to move out into the middle of freaking nowhere. And like mine some busy Bitcoin out in the middle of nowhere. Hell yeah.
Just put like no trespassing signs at the edge of your property.
Oh yeah, man. Grow my own fruits and vegetables, have my chunkins. And mine Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Yeah, don't go too far north though if you want to have like decent tree production. You might have to come south a little bit.
I know tricks. I know tricks to grow.
Greenhouse guy over here, like.
Oh yeah.
Storage container.
Hey man, if you got to use it, if that's what you have to do in order to get your veggies sprouted early enough, and and a couple of miners will help heat everything. I'm just saying, you do what you need to do. There's a calculation.
Provide,
yeah, I mean, there's a calculation on how many Bitcoin miners it takes to properly heat a greenhouse.
Oh yeah, people are doing that, huh?
Oh yeah. Very, very niche. I've only seen like 2 people do it.
like a really old S9 in every corner or something.
So I talked to a buddy of mine, and he had 3 E3s in his greenhouse. I was like, I told him, I'm like, bro, you should put your ASICs in the greenhouse. He's like, in the greenhouse? I'm like, do you need the heat? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you want moisture? He's like, no. I'm like, put the ASICs in the greenhouse. He's like, really? I'm like,
yes. Cook off the moisture, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. He comes back and he's like, bro, man, it took off like 10% of the moisture in here. I'm like, I told you.
That's like heating and AC 101. Like you have runaway like no humidity or something. You gotta turn the heat on in there.
Heck yeah, man. If you're trying to sprout your veggies in cold climate, why not? I've seen people do Bitcoin hot tubs. They have them where they're immersion mining, and they just use the heat to water transfer coolers, so that it's just going into a tank of water, and it keeps the water pretty warm.
I wonder what kind of hash rate you need to pull to like get the water temp to stay like 103.
Right. Oh, I know, right? New England. He's like, I love it. It's like, bro, they're like us miners. We are getting more and more ingenious with what we are doing. Absolutely, more and more ingenious. It's like most of your veggies. They don't want to be too hot, but they want to be warm. But they don't want to have moisture because that creates mold.
Yeah.
So,
fine line.
No, I know, right?
But once you got it then it's all automation after that. You're like, I don't even have to touch nothing.
If you do it right, you can be a lazy gardener.
You can, yeah. But that's the process, though. You know, you might be banging your head on the wall for like a month or so.
Jeans, like I use two
when the season's over.
S19s, 95 terahash to heat my house. The outside temp of -35°C. Damn!
Nice.
That is baller. I mean, hold on here. Let me put it into English terms here. So negative. What was that? 35°C. So 35°C to Fahrenheit. That. Wow, that's negative 31 degrees. Woo! Woo!
That's the type of temps like when the wind blows, your bones like freeze.
Oh, good God!
It goes right through your skin to your bone. You're like, oh.
I knew somebody that was down in Germany. He was stationed out there with the army, and he came out of his barracks right after getting out of the shower, and they were having Germany's record low. And he came outside. He felt like his mustache freeze. And he went to go, you know, like anytime you feel your mustache freeze, you're going to knock the icicles off, right? And he said that was the cleanest shave he's ever had in his life.
Yep.
Like all the hair came clean off. He was like, oh.
Yeah. Those kind of temps, if you ever get stuck, like falling into water or something, like you got probably minutes to get yourself regulated or not end up.
Oh, no. What you do at that point, like you just strip. You get out of those wet clothes, and then you worry about fire.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if you do that and you're close to and you're on your own property and you have a Bitcoin mining shed, you'd be able to make it to your Bitcoin mining shed and dry off in a few minutes. You like how I tied that back into crypto?
Hypothermia in what, like seconds, minutes? I don't know.
It takes takes a minute or two for it to register through your body.
Yeah, have your brain catch up with itself, like
right.
Freezing to death. Run, go.
What up, Crypto Pado? What up, dude? Hopefully everybody's having fun out there in Tennessee. Gene's like they're hooked up to his HVAC dick with dampers to control temp. When the house is hot enough, dampers open up and let the heat go outside.
That's sweet, man.
Nice.
That's
me and Gundy, when we were out at the Bitcoin Miami event, mining Disrupt, there was a company that was making an HVAC duct that would already do all of that, all built in. That's pretty cool that you made your own, though. Very innovative. That's one thing I love about the Bitcoin space. A lot of innovative people.
Well, you said it before and you said it again, bro. Airflow is your friend.
No, right. Well, you know, it's like I learned from other people battling like temperature problems, and then I watch other people who have no temperature problems, and I just go, what's the difference between these two pictures? I mean, it's quite obvious. It stares you right in the face. I mean,
sometimes you have to be like showed it directly, you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can put it in front of my face sometimes, and I'll just be like, "Oh, right there, got it." Okay.
Like Gene's like, I'm a certified mechanic. Not much I can't do. Nice.
Ooh.
I'm actually a certified mechanic too. I think you're certified too, aren't you, Gundy? Or did you?
I never went through.
Or did you never go to your certifications?
I mean, I went to like Lexus College, but that's a whole other story.
Are you Lexus certified?
Yeah, like to the T. Yeah.
Okay, so he's Lexus certified. I'm General certified.
Back when they were calling hybrids, they had planetary gear units. You know.
Right.
All that fun stuff back. Jeez, what was that? 03, 04 maybe. Fuck, I'm old.
Man, you're old.
Ooh.
ISCET for you. I'm not sure what that is.
I don't know.
I don't know. But when you got like some kind of like technical training of some sort, it really makes it pretty easy for you to be able to do some innovation here and there. That's one thing I do like. Just a little background and some technical skills. Oh, nice. Nice. Certified electronics technician. Nice.
Yeah. Hey man, when you start getting into like 480 and like grid power, like it freaks people out. Like you walk by the equipment, you can hear the hum of the power. You're like, yeah, that's instant death over there. It's always good, you know, especially at home miners, you know. You guys are pulling like 2,000-3,000 watts out of the wall. Like a lot of these houses are gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, my house had a bad time.
Yeah. And you know, a lot of times people are fortunate enough to have like a bad breaker or something.
But I had good breakers, and the breakers saved me from fire. And then I got underneath the house, discovered the problem, fixed the problem, and while I was there, I was like, you know what? Since I got everything opened up here, that mining room's getting a couple of its own circuits put in there.
Right. I want a direct 200 amp line to the bedroom, please. Thank you.
Right. We are gonna get 240 in there in a hot minute right now. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That clean energy, baby.
Oh yeah.
That dirty 110 will get you sometimes.
Right. And then it's so limiting. I mean, 20 amp 110 only lets you pull 1,800 watts.
So
like for any of you guys that are like new to this,
you need a new panel.
You got 110, 1,800 watts on a 20 amp circuit.
They might say you could run it and be okay, but would you really want to risk it? Especially like with the quality of housing builds these days.
Right. Which would mean that if you're kind of in question, it's like 1,400 watts.
Yeah. 1,500, yeah. One decent computer.
Right.
You
know, it's like if you know 1,000-watt circuit possibly can be pushing the circuit limit, yeah.
Yeah, all these damn like power hungry graphics cards, you know. You got like 1,600 watt. I haven't actually seen any 2,000 watt like out in the wild yet, but it's been a while since I looked for computer parts.
Right.
Shit's so expensive now.
Oh my god. They're still sitting on a bunch of motherboards whenever like Newegg was sitting there and forcing you to bundle everything with GPU.
Yeah.
Hey, you want that GPU? Well, you need a motherboard, don't you? You're upgrading everything, aren't you? You're not mining with it.
Well, you remember all those Intel processor fanboys, you know? Like, man, AMD is just better. Better overclocking, you know?
Oh, man. Talk about AMD, man. Did you hear about them with they're going to be holding off on the 9000 series release?
No, they just announced it. They're not putting it out now?
They're holding off because it's not performing.
What Those bastards.
They can't get it to hit the numbers that they really want.
Anticipated, yeah.
And it's looking like the last generation chipset. Sadly, if you look at how they perform, or it's just as good or a little better in some instances for the last generation chips.
So pick up a 8950 before people realize what's going on.
So I mean, I don't know if it's just like if it's a software not calibrated properly on the chip, or if the chip's having a problem.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like maybe we've reached the like speed threshold for our current.
You think Moore's law is dead?
What do you mean?
Well, that's the whole thing, you know, Moore's law.
So like, no matter how much we pump into this new stuff, like it'll never perform because
you have a diminishing return. Is Moore's law dead?
Of course, yeah. Technology, like life,
because
everything ends like that.
Jensen from NVIDIA was saying that Moore's law was dead. Because when was the last time you saw a 50% increase in performance from a GPU?
Yeah, it's just like the overclocking, and the software gets better to be able to mitigate, like, you know, bad.
You get some performance kicks, but it's typically from generation to generation. It's like what, 15 to 20% difference from one generation to another.
I mean, you know me, I'm like, you know, I think they've been holding back technology for us for a long time, but you know, some people
have they come across that diminishing return, because look at the tobacco that Intel is having, where their chipsets are oxidizing because of a process during the laying of the copper traces.
Yeah, it doesn't. It like they said that it's happening on non-modded units as well. Like you don't even have to do anything to this thing; it's still frying itself.
Yep. Yeah, people are just putting it in and they're downclocking this thing to try to mitigate it right off the bat, and it's still just booting it up at blue screen.
Yeah, just wait until the data centers have problems with the Intel shit, man. Their stock will plummet. Not financial advice, but when you start sending like pallets of this stuff back to them for RMA, it's gonna be bad.
I would like to know what they're going to do about the people that they denied RMA requests.
Oh well, listen. I mean, maybe like you know, the peons, you know, the under $100,000 companies, but you know, the big ones, they're definitely getting checks.
Oh yeah.
They want the
but
business.
I mean, for the people who had the individual person, you know, the non-big company, are they should they now be, you know, it's like what the question's been lately is like, okay, now that they're recognizing there's a problem, are they good, or is Intel going to reach out to all the denials that they pushed through, or are they going to allow all those people to resubmit an RMA claim, and they will just automatically allow it?
Or somebody will come up with a class action lawsuit and they'll settle out of court. So,
you know, right, and they'll settle pennies on the dollar.
Any part of that, you'll get like $110 in the mail or something on a check. Like, wow, thanks. The processor, 600 or 800 or whatever the hell they are.
Right.
And you can give me $110, and I still don't have a working processor. Like,
right.
Thanks.
Techman, TSMC, and Samsung, right, are the two big foundries. Techman's like TSMC does everybody's stuff. I'd say they do a bulk of a lot of people's stuff because that's the biggest foundry. But then you've got Samsung. Apple's got their own.
Well, I mean, we all have noticed that, you know, we keep getting new versions of this fancy shiny crap that doesn't have any new add-ons to it, right?
Well, you got to think what the 40 series was. If you look at the specs on the 40 series GPUs from NVIDIA, they were actually worse performance than the 30 series. The only thing they had was that it was more power efficient on what it was doing.
So maybe you squeaked out what, like 12, 13, 14% more better power efficiency.
And they, oh God, what, and because they did a small change in the architecture alignment on pixels, they were able to, in software, generate the pixels faster by accelerating the software on the hardware. So it was a software enhancement that they called AI. That's that DSS, the what is it, DLSS stuff, and
yes, the stuff that will be controlling our world very shortly, guys.
Right, but that's really like, if you really think about it, all that really is software accelerators that they tagged AI, because everything is
it'll preemptively
AI.
think of what the data it's expected to get, So when you start that process, though, it can get lost. You throw a hook in it, and it's going to be like, oh, it'll miss it. Stuff like that could get through possibly in AI when you scan it, because it wasn't looking for it, but it went back to normal right after. So it'll be like, oh, no fault. But something did go through. But because
for the way that the 40 series renders stuff, it renders a little faster, so you get a little boost in your frame rate. Outside of that, it is not that the performance on the card is no different than the 30 series. But for mining wise,
hash per watt,
like if you watch the whole mining market, and you watch the numbers on what you go through all the different mining calculators, because you can't just use one. You got to kind of use them all, and then you take the average between them all, and you realize that the 40 series, there's times where a 3070 is in the top 5.
Well, that's
you see a 3080 in the top 5. I was like, my 3080s are still that relevant from time to time. Holy cow!
Is that because the new stuff on the network is new and it doesn't have proper drivers, or?
Well, with the 40 series, it should be out long enough at this point.
Well,
I would think that it's an efficiency rating at that point. Depending on what algo, the 40 series is like, unless the algorithm is able to play with the accelerator on the card itself, you're getting a little bit better performance, so you're able to push them a little harder. You're brute strengthening a little bit further. To me, that's like the difference of having like the 1070 versus the 1070, the 1080 Ti.
I mean, talking about all this, it just really saddens me that some people in this country, like.
Right, Seb, exactly. So even Seb, he's like, I just got a 4070 Super, definitely more power efficient than the 3070 itself. But performance-wise, I mean, they're pretty much on point with each other, except for the power rating. And because you're able to, it's got a little better performance on the power rating, you're able to turn it up without worrying about heat load.
Well, maybe they did that just because they knew a lot of miners would pick up all the new stuff first, usually.
Oh, I'm really not knowing at this point what. Because, like, in one hand, NVIDIA wants to distance themselves from the mining community.
I don't know why, man. That's stupid.
Because it's like
stupid.
It's too volatile of a market for them to depend on. They need, being a bigger company, and from business perspective, I get this one. You want to have a more stable clientele base. So there's going to be a point where your clientele base as a miner, they're going to switch from, oh my God, I've got to get whatever hardware I can get my hands on, and I'm going to grab the latest and greatest hardware, any of the latest, greatest hardware, because that's what's making me the most money.
You think
and then after the mining boom at that cycle stops, then I'm going to be holding on to all that gear that I did acquire during the boom, but now I'm looking at used gear. I'm no longer on the market for the new stuff because the new stuff is too much money for me to be able to justify spending at that point.
For sure, yeah.
So you end up sitting there and looking into how you could be more efficient. You know, you're looking at your efficiencies through your bear markets, of course. You know, and as a big business, you don't want to be, oh, the light switch is off on this, guys. We need to start focusing in on the other part of the business. It's like, no, you're just going to have a core business, and you're going to focus in on that, and anything extra is like candy on the top.
Well, you just got to keep doing like what everybody else is doing to stay relevant. You know, hopefully you can
slap AI on it and call it a new product.
Hopefully you have the means to sell your gear before it's too worthless, so you can reinvest it into better gear and like just keep the process going. You know?
Right.
But I don't know, man. I kind of feel like we're in a lull right now, and gear's been pretty cheap lately.
I know. I mean, I have 1070 Ti's and 1080 Ti's that I'm willing to sell.
Baby, just waiting.
No, I'm waiting to sell. I mean, if somebody made me an offer on them, I mean, like $100 on the 70 series, maybe 200 on the 80s, the 80 Ti's.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think those are reasonable prices for.
A 1080 Ti, I bet you could still get them for like $300 right now, right?
Oh yeah, $200 to $300.
Yeah, I mean that's a card that has test of time for sure.
Oh yeah,
that thing was like they need to come out. They need to start engineering like that again. You know, just something at the time that comes out that just blows fucking everything out of the water.
And like all the fans spin on them. They all hash.
Yeah. It has good firmware at launch, you know.
Right. They've been mining since day one of their. Whenever they hit the very first person's hand, they were mining.
Yeah.
Because whenever you're looking at an eBay listing and they say that it was not mined on, they mined the shit out of that thing.
Like, why even say anything, bro?
Right? If you don't mine on it, don't acknowledge that it even exists.
Like, yeah, like you said, as soon as you say like it was not mined on, it was.
Oh yeah, you're like, oh great, now I gotta rip it apart immediately by getting it, redo the thermal paste on it, redo the pads,
and dry as fuck.
Bro, I had one where like the guy was like, oh yeah, it's never been mined on, and I was like, sure. Yeah. It comes to me. 1070 Ti. It's a gigabyte. They were known for having greasy pads. And the only way that you get greasy pads to leak all over the back plate of that fucking thing is it's got to get hot enough to make it drip. And then you got to have a fan on it in order to make it quick.
Hell yeah, son.
So there was like oil residue. The guy tried to wipe off the back of it. You could see all like reminiscences of it because he just took a rag and wiped it off. No alcohol.
Total rookie status.
Oh yeah, I was like oh my god. I'm like,
the Q-tips, buddy.
I'm like, man, I gotta fucking open this thing up right away and take a look at the grease on this thing. It was like as hard as a rock. I'm like, oh wow.
You know what really happens really awesomely after that? When you get it hot enough to where it greases itself, then you let it run long enough to where the dust cycles through it and detaches all the grease.
Oh my god. You make new pathways on the board that were unintended pathways. And you might put a ground where power is. That's not so bad. It's when you put power where there's a ground. and you backfeed the device. Oh yeah, that's when it does special stuff.
Those poor little pots never stood a chance.
Oh yeah, you're hoping all it took out was you hope a resistor in line decided to kill itself to save the rest of the board for you.
Let the magic smoke out. It's okay.
Right. Let the resistor smoke. Let loose. Not a capacitor. You don't want to no transistors, things that are like holding large amounts of voltage.
And the really like tiny storage devices they put in there now.
Oh yeah.
You're like, yeah, don't blow that thing up. Like, I don't even think I could even desolder it to get it out of there.
I can desolder all of that. That's the easy part.
Yeah.
It's
tiny stuff, man.
It's hoping that it killed itself fast enough to not send it anywhere else, any of that power anywhere else. Like
it didn't hold on for
how can I put it? The 1070, the 1070s and the 1070 Ti's, right? If you put, and I warned so many people about that. There's a reason why I called GPU Jesus. I've been freaking raising the alarm bell to people for a long time, and I'm sitting there seeing people with 1,000-watt power supply. They're like, oh, it's a platinum. Awesome. Great for mining. Platinum 1,000-watt power supply. Love it. You can't put more than 3 1070 Ti's or 3 1070s on there. Period.
1,000, man? You should not be running anything like about 790 max, probably.
Right. And people like, well, I downclock it. It's only running 110 watts. And I'm like, bro, if that thing asks for full power and you've got 4 of them on there and they all just so coincidentally ask for full power, that's what you got 175 watts on the card itself, plus 75 watts on the PCIe rig, all through a 1,000-watt power supply, and you're trying to put 4 of these on there. Especially the weakest link on the 10 series card is a memory rail. You're gonna overheat the memory rail inductor, and when that bad boy gets hot, it's gonna desolder itself off the board. It's gonna shift over sideways, and when it shifts over, it's gonna short circuit right there. When it short circuits, it does it in a very epic way on the 10, especially the 10 series. Yeah. Like, you got one of those mining specific ones that are basically, they were a 1070. They did it too. Panda sent me one of those.
Oh, it was all fried up.
Oh yeah, he fried. Red Panda fried one. There's a reason why Red Panda calls me GPU Jesus. And so basically, it does a double tap of 12 volts to the core, and it does it in a most epic way. So on a 1070, or say the 10 series, the 20 series, and they finally fixed it on the 30 series. So yeah, 10 series and the 20 series both have the same problem. That
the 20s are kind of dumpster fires anyway.
Oh my god, yeah. So like you've got power that will once it overheats through the inductor for the memory modules themselves, right? It nabs the memory modules with 12 volts directly because it shorts in the inductor. And once the memory module shorts out, it does it so quickly that it smacks the VGA core with 12 volts. Now, if you are a lottery winner, that's all that happens. you fix the inductor, you replace the memory module that's affected, and the card boots up. Now, if you're everybody else, a non-lottery winner, there's a memory controller rail. And once it does that, it backfeeds the switch that basically turns that side of the card on and nabs it with 12 volts going through there. It blows out these filters that are basically they're 4 0 ohm resistors, or they could be capacitors depending on which series you had. If it was a capacitor, it was like 2 capacitors. If it was an old one, it was 4 0 ohm resistors as like a filter, and it would nab the memory controller with 12 volts, and that would nab the VGA core in the brains department of the VGA core, rendering the core broken. That core will never boot back up again.
Oh, does it fry your monitor too?
No, it doesn't fry the monitor. It doesn't do anything cool like that.
Oh.
Not prolific. It just boop, just turns off. You get a black screen because it happens that violently.
Yeah.
A blue screen shows that there's still some kind of life and communication output.
That's the thing with those little components, man. All it takes is you'll hear a snap and then nada.
And it's people like it, don't get me wrong. It's not like the power supply is causing the issue. It's too much on the power supply. When it ramps up for full voltage, the power supply its output diminishes.
Well, just imagine you have.
And then when it diminishes, it basically is about ready to turn the GPU off, and then it comes back online, and the power spikes back up. So it goes from, let's say, 10.3 volts, and then wham, back up to 12 volts. That's a voltage spike.
Yeah, electronics hate that shit.
And you might think, oh, that's really nothing, but a 2-volt voltage
almost
spike.
As bad as a brownout.
Oh my God, yeah. A little flicker of it coming down and whacking back on, dude. Oh my God. Like, son of a rabbit, what's up? Got those 22s. It's like I killed 1,000 watt EVGA PSU not long ago. System with two 3080s taking only around 300 watts. Cables melted and smoking like hell.
Yeah, that earlier. Like, don't cheap out on your PCIe cables, yeah.
Right. Well, 1,000 watt EVGA should have been able to handle that. Because that would have been sick. But did you have the
as long as it had a wussy processor, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
did
you have the did you also have the motherboard hooked up to it? And were you actively mining on the motherboard while doing it?
Ooh, if you're like proc mining also?
Oh yeah, so what if you're mining on the CPU, you got 2 GPUs rolling, you could be up there right at that limitation of that power supply.
Literally clipping it, like, you know.
It's like
that's danger zone.
He's like, yes, I was shocked. It's 2700X. Yeah, so he was mining on the AMD.
Which is cool, you know.
Still under the sure. Well, not really. If you think about it, the 3080s, if it asked for full power, depending on which 3080s you had, you could be talking about full power was 350 to 400 watts.
Some of those had like 2 8-pins, right?
Yeah, some of them did. Some had 2, some had 3. So depending on which series you had, it could have asked for full voltage
Your 3 8-pins, man. You could.
It doesn't matter if you limit them in Afterburner. That's actually a misconception with the software side of things. Think of all your overclocking tools, whether you're doing it with inside the miner and commanding it through the miner what you want, or you're doing it with a third-party software. It's basically a suggestion to the card. The card is going to have a base proximity of what it needs to run through what parameters. And if it sees the necessity to ramp up, it might ramp up even for a brief moment. And all it has to do is just whack the limiter hard one time, and you can break something that easily and start frying stuff out with the quickness.
Yeah, all this recent Intel like blue screen of death. Like that's all it would take. Like a blue screen of death, and then
so 300 watts plus the 7500 watt PCIe cable. So they was melting cables. Oh yeah. You're pushing too much through a few wires. Oh my god.
It's like your first.
That's what I warned. That's exactly what I warned Red Panda over. I was like, bro, stop. You're mining. You. Oh my god. You are mining Ravencoin, and you are bridging power from the 8-pin to PCIe. You are going to start a fire. 2 days later, he had rigs shutting off on him and melted splitters.
Lucky he got melty.
Like browned out, and I'm sitting there in the chat going, you need to check all your splitters now and see which ones are now have the slightest bit of browning on them because they're trash.
Yeah, you skimp out and get like 18 gauge wire. You're like, oh man,
son of a tech, son of a rabbit is like 90 seconds was enough. Yeah, and after 90 seconds, it was like that'll do, pig. That'll do.
Good night.
Right.
Oh man, I mean, working on cars too. You probably seen some epic electrical shit too.
Oh my god, I've seen special stuff.
Who did this? They need to be dragged out of the car and spanked because this is terrible.
Oh yeah, my favorite is yeah, I had a remote start put in like a month ago. Uh-oh.
My cousin did it in the driveway, yeah.
I was working for like a month. But it would always set the alarm off. I didn't understand what that was all about. I guess it was like a feature that was telling you that your car was running.
Car was running?
Yeah. It's like 8-pin to 8-pin is 150.
Oh, man.
How to plug it in wrong. Yeah. I mean, when your wires are only rated for like 200 watt max.
Then you're splicing extra components onto them, yeah.
Right. You're 100 watts overrated on one wire set.
That's like all those mass airflow controllers. They just crimp onto the wire, the stock of wire, and you're like, that can't be good for whatever.
So the second line should only be 6-pin. Like back in the day, like when you were running the smaller wattages, like the RX 580, yeah, you could sit there and daisy chain off of one rail. That card was pulling a maximum of like 175 watts.
Was it really that low? I thought they were slated to like maybe you do 3. No.
No. No, man. If you let that thing pull while it was mining, freaking like 200 watts, man, you'd watch the freaking temps just whoop out of control.
Yeah. You're like, the core's not supposed to be 102C. That's not it. I don't know, man. I got a couple of 580s from you, and when I put those down into mine, like those were dialed in, man, for sure. They were always hanging out at like 66 degrees.
Well, those were also all BIOS modded too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. like I said,
that was step one. I'm like BIOS mod
and
engaged. As soon as I BIOS modded those things, it was like, oh, now I can grab freaking voltage control properly. Oh, look at this. The temperature's nothing. I can turn fans off.
I don't know. They did a lot of weird stuff with thermal throttling in the early days, like to try to mitigate heat. And I'm like, dude, there's nothing you can do really besides get rid of it, like somehow. So, like bigger coolers, obviously. Some of the coolers on these new cards are freaking twice the size of the card. It's insane.
Yeah, yes, son of a rabbit. Whenever you got some voltage issues, hopefully it didn't do any voltage issues to the board itself too. He's like, CPU's not working. Very strange what happened. Yeah.
Once you let voltage go where it's not supposed to go on any system, man, you gotta start checking everywhere. Because you don't know where that thing went, what it did, how many
it's like it
out.
the CPU's probably fine. I find that those are pretty stout. But it could have nailed the motherboard on there, so the motherboard not transmitting the power properly.
Might have one channel down somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, they're really hard to pinpoint that kind of stuff too, with all the layers and sandwiches they got going.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, like a lot of your boards are like 12 to 16 layers.
You're getting fat, yeah, for sure. It's not back in the day, you know.
Right. 4 layers.
Boards were the size of the controllers. You know, now you open a controller like the circuit board's like this big. Like, man, miniaturization is the thing, for sure.
Right.
Smash that silicon, baby.
I'm talking about smashing, man. Smash that Lizzie like on everybody. Yo.
Yeah, I already hit it like an hour ago, bro.
Oh, no, that's nice. You know what's really kind of irritating? I sliced the very back of my palm here, and I keep rusting it on my counter, and it's my desk, and it's like, ooh, don't put my hand there.
Yeah,
I've done it like 5 times already.
Right on the knob that like everything touches.
Yeah, like right there.
Careful, man. I got a wicked infection in my elbow once because like got like a cut on it, but like you put your arms down everywhere, so.
Oh yeah, it was like I'm trying to get this I had a Toyota Prius in my garage, and I'm doing the wheel cylinders on it.
Oh.
Trying to tighten down the lines on it, and I just rushed up against the brand new rotor, the drum. I mean, drum, and just I'm like, and I like you feel that Ginsu blade, and you're like, ooh, that was a good one. You look down, you're like, oh, you're gonna bleed. I should know it. And it was like one of those delayed bleedings too, and you're like, oh, that's a good one.
It's really sharp, and you know something happened, but you didn't realize your brain hasn't hurt yet.
Oh yeah, you just felt that little snag, and then you look at it and you see the line, and you're like, how deep did that go?
I always got this, and like my knuckle would be like flopping open, like right there.
I did that with a Ginsu blade on my thumb, bro. Fucking right down to the knuckle.
Oh, I didn't.
I'm like, yeah, I didn't even feel myself hit my skin.
Mine was always on like timing, because once you break down a car, like that aluminum is sharp as fuck at 90 degrees, bro.
Oh my god,
that thing will slice.
And it's like, why do these manufacturers not finish, not like deburr the edges?
The seal.
We're gonna cut the surface flat, and we're gonna leave the rigid edge on there.
Yeah. Oh man, so much goodness. So much goodness. But yeah, everything's just, you know, as far as cars go, the tolerances are so tight now. Everything has to be like to spec.
Yeah, this guy with that Prius talking about spec, man. He had just like a nest of like check engine light, ABS light. His like if you touched the brake pedal, it would start beeping at you. If you turn the vehicle on, it just straight beeped at you.
Is this?
It was like a Toyota Prius. It was the first year on the Toyota Prius.
Oh, the OG ones?
Yeah, dude.
Super OG ones?
Yeah, it was right when they went to they went to body number 2.
Okay, that's when they started getting like better with the batteries and everything.
Yeah. So it's like the OG of the good generation.
Yeah, it's hard to find those super OG ones, man. Everybody wanted them. Like
the guy had his brake assembly needed to be replaced.
Like the booster?
Yeah, but it's all electronic.
Oh yeah, it's one assembly. It's probably like $1,700 for that part.
Oh yeah. And the guy was like, "Is that something that you take care of here?" And I'm like, "I'd have to get that from underneath."
No.
And then he was sitting there. He was like sitting there saying that you have to lift up the battery pack for it, and I'm like, "Oh no!"
The back?
Yeah, it's underneath the battery pack. That's in the or battery controller. That's in the engine bay.
With the brake lines?
It's all below the module that controls all the electric motors. That's in the engine bay. It's like all right below that, sitting next to the gas motor. I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, that's a nightmare job. I looked it up. I'm like,
no, those aren't that bad. You just have to pull the service plug from the back of the battery in the rear, and then everything up front is dead.
Oh, yeah, I haven't worked on the hybrids.
It's just like, if you go like a tackle fuel system on all these new direct injection cars. Like if you crack a fuel line that has like 2,000 psi on it, that shit could go in you and kill you, dude.
Oh yeah,
you'll die.
That will end your day.
Yeah, all these new cars with the direct injection, people are gonna start tinkering them and like, oh, you're gonna fuck yourself up, bro.
Oh yeah.
These high pressure fuel lines for direct injection usually sit about 2,000 psi when the engine's off. Yep. I mean, it'll dissipate a little bit like over time, but like not that much.
Nope.
If you're going to work on it, you're doing it right for you. The whole engine's probably hot still. But being a newer car, it also has the luxury of being able to pull the fuel pump fuse and then let that bitch run dry as fuck.
Right.
It'll turn itself off, and then you're like, okay, I can work on it now. That's like what was it? The daytime running lights on those European cars. They have like a standalone like relay for daytime running lights, and I always like thought it was funny. Like everybody had daytime running lights. I'm like, just pull that stupid relay and throw it in the trash. Like you don't even need it.
Like, sorry guys, you got 2 gearheads that are miners on here, so we'll go between mine and gear talk.
House of memes. That's right. You sure? Who knows what we're talking about? We did talk about a lot of hardware tonight, though, guys. So if you're curious, go rewind.
Oh yeah, Cedric. I would not be trusting anything that let the magic smoke out.
Yeah.
If it let any magic smoke out of any of the components, I'd be like suspect of what happened in the PSU also.
Yeah, I mean, suspect everybody is tainted at that point sometimes.
Hell yeah, Tech Man. Everybody, if you ain't checked out the Discord, links are down below, guys. It is free. Join there. Be part of the conversation. It's great people in there. Great, awesome community. Love to have everybody be a part of it.
We're not going to try to sell you anything either, so don't worry about that.
I mean, I might try to sell you one of my GPUs. I mean, you want a GPU? Anybody want a GPU? $100, $100. Come on.
I got this 1080 Ti.
I got a 1080 Ti. Oh.
Glorious. And dude, I know some AI like programmers that still prefer 1080 Ti's to whatever new graphics like R8000 or whatever the fuck they got out now.
Right.
Because of just the way they handle the traffic flow and like the brute force, like do this now tasks,
Well, it's easier, I guess, to make it with older hardware and scale up than scaled up trying to work your way backwards. Look at what Intel's issue was.
Yeah.
They couldn't play any DirectX 9 because they built it on DirectX 12.
That was always the thing, man. Like, that's why companies like Windows exist. Cause
yeah, Seb, you might try to sell some CCX boxes. I mean, they are legit. I'm just saying they are a thing. I mean, if you're in a concealed network and you like to be able to pimp out some concealed network gear, you should go check out Nodes Bits and check out a CCX box, man. I mean, that stuff's legit. I have one. There was things that happened, and you'll have to stay tuned to my video, and where and in no way is this a reflection on Seb or Nodes and Bits. Has nothing to do with them. I will explain the situation. Why you haven't seen a video of me doing my conceal box video at all, I will let people know.
Intriguing.
Like, you guys should add a vendor tab. I think we're getting close to where we can start doing that. I think.
Yeah. Bring the swag pack back.
Well, like vendors, like we'd be able to have like a tab that for, or you talk about in the Discord vendor tabs. Because if you're talking about that, then we would have to have like vendor tabs that like a tab that nobody can type in. It's just something that's just got clickables in it. Yeah, Discord. Okay, I was on the right path. What I was just saying. So,
yeah.
But yeah, we'd be able to make it to where you can. It'll just be like a front page that has like all the vendors, but nobody can have a conversation in there. It's just got the clickable links. Maybe we could talk to the McKells whenever he gets back.
Oh yes, he loves the software too. Loves the software.
So, but I mean, my man Seb there, he added in some things in there that are pretty pimp into my CCX box.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, you guys are gonna have to check that video out. I'm gonna be doing the video of it. I'm going into production for it tomorrow. So
look for that next week early.
Yeah, I'm planning on trying to get it out early in the week.
But you know that those chunkins take time sometimes, you know. You gotta tell them. I need nourishment. Go in the barn and do your business.
Oh yeah, have everybody have our user links to go into everybody's spot. Be like, yeah, you want to support me? You can click on my link. Have the link wars.
Save me from my terrible hash.
I
Save
have
me.
my sister coming to visit me all the way from all the way to the French Indies. First time in Asia. She's blown away so far. Now considering a tourist guide tour career. Nice. That's
Especially if you live there,
pimp.
you know? The
Pimp.
tourists always want the locals' perspective, you know?
Bro, that's what I end up doing. Like the wife like loves it when I because like I'll sit there and just talk to the locals and be like, let's go do what you do. They're like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
I do?
I mean, you want to
What do
find
you
out
mean?
what
I'm boring, you know? And I'm like, no. Let's go check. Let's go see things from your perspective.
But 9 times out of 10, just talk to the cab drivers. They know where to go.
Right. Or find a trustworthy tour guide and be like, take me to places that nobody else goes. I don't want to see touristy shit.
Yeah.
I want to see what your guys' culture is all about.
I want to see where you guys tie it off and party down.
Like, yeah, man. It's like you go in, the next thing you know, you're being brought by a bar. It's got monkeys all over it, and you're like, this is cool.
Iguanas on the table and shit. You're like, damn.
Dub's like, I can't wait to see it. Yeah, buddy. So, definitely be going into production with what I've got. And then I've got, like, I guess, like, because I've got the contract, I guess I can sit there and say something about it. But I've got a little partnership with Osprey.
Oh, very nice.
Oh.
I was there. I saw it happen live on stream. Go check out Nem's channel, Crypto and Hot Rods. Check it out.
Right.
It's the only 4.5-hour video on the channel, so it's okay. I don't know. You don't have any like racing streams that long, do you?
Huh?
You didn't have any racing streams that long, do you?
No.
Yeah, that was a long one, man.
Yeah, that was a long one. And we're
backs hurt after. Like,
so I'm like really stoked on getting this this E300. Ooh. Yep, I said it. E300. VU. Ooh. 35p. I'm gonna get the big bad dog to be able to do reviews on. So I am super stoked about this.
Yeah, and they were all about their new control board when we saw them at my Industry.
My God, and I'm gonna be able to see this new board and everything.
Yeah, man, that was good.
I'm like super happy. Oh my God. Again, thank you, Mikkel, for like opening up that door, because like if it wasn't for me like basically just name dropping him,
I know, right? Yeah, he's my buddy. We went into business together for a little while back in the day.
right, and they're like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, foot in the door.
Drop your homie's name. Be like, hey, how's it going? I
know. So as soon as I get my unit in, I will expect a plethora of content coming in on that thing. Oh my God.
You better.
And I should have my own links to be able to go in the Osprey. And if you guys are interested in that stuff, certainly whenever I get my link, use that. I mean, it's free for you, and it helps me out. Because it shows that if I can drive a lot of traffic in utilizing it, it'll show that it was worth them putting the investment into me to be able to do content for.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they're not giving me anything for free. I mean, let's be fully transparent here. I am getting nothing for free. They're basically allowing me to utilize their equipment and do a review on it for a few months.
Yeah, man. Demos and demos, baby.
Heck yeah, I
mean, that's how
will.
they
I am
get
very
renewable
grateful
experience
for
and
having a
renewable
demo
resources
unit.
back out of them, you know.
And they did make a considerable deal for me if I wanted to keep it too.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
Yeah,
so with that, I was like, well,
I know
I,
McKill was doing a lot of testing with those guys, and they were very happy with his throughput back to them. So
oh yeah. And now they're gonna get it from a guy that loves to manipulate hardware.
I know, Larry.
Be like, hey, this isn't doing this right or something. If they got all the bugs worked out of it, oh, this is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be a great experience. If there's any
If it
bugs
goes,
there, I'll figure them out, and then I'll hit them up with it and be like, hey, I'm having this problem.
if it goes well, just hash drag it, bro.
Right. And I'll have
I-
3 boards. I mean, I'll have three different devices doing hash drags. Whoop, whop.
We should do that one day, you know. Just get like 3 same motherboards, like just cheapos, you know, whatever. That'll handle like the processors that we're gonna throw in there, and just like pot them and turn them on full blast. Like we'll see.
Oh God, yeah.
Flies first.
Sit there and see how long you can mine Monero until it dies.
While we're force feeding liquid hydrogen all over the top of them. Yeah.
Oh God, you can't like that. You want to do liquid nitrogen? At least that
Nitrogen,
you could
sorry,
do. You
yeah.
could do that by yourself.
My bad.
Liquid helium is where you get the world record.
Yeah, of explosions and fire. Yeah.
No, that was what
there's
DeBauer
really-
did the world record setting with was on helium.
That's crazy, man. That you can put out heat with gases, you know, stuff that you can breathe. You could put out fires with.
Yep, but they have it in a liquid form, and the exchange rate is so instantaneous. It just takes all the heat with it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Some of these DCs I've been in are kind of scary because they have like the chemical suppression.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
If there ever is a lockdown scenario, like the alarm will go off and you got like 90 seconds to get out of that room.
That's under the old stuff, right?
Oh yes, these are old buildings, yes.
Yeah. That's the
Very
old
old.
systems.
They're still up and running, and they're running
Wow.
a lot of major infrastructure for all of the top companies, just to let you know.
Talking about all the top. Did you
All these
did you
top
hear the new
companies-
thing that's going around? There
They
might
run
not be
old shit,
enough
though.
electricity for the internet.
Yeah? Oh no. We'll have to mine some more dinosaur juice.
I know. Thank God that dinosaur juice is far below when the dinosaurs died.
Yeah.
Thank God that Thank God that the truth that it renews itself.
I mean, you start
Hasn't
getting
gotten
canceled,
out.
and we start getting canceled, and like you'll disappear tomorrow, and
I know,
it's
because like I'm telling people
dead
that
dinosaur, bro.
that
We put our cars
fuels
on
are a
dinosaurs.
renewable energy resource, and the Earth makes more of it somehow. Shh! Don't tell anybody.
Can you imagine finding out that oil's infinite?
Kuwait has mined all this oil, and they still surprisingly have a lot.
Really? Interesting.
Interesting. Super interesting.
I'm gonna have to go out back and dig out some more dinosaurs to power up my Sequoia. So,
Right. And with that being said, we are over that 1 hour mark, guys.
We'll leave
He's
on
got
that
to get to digging, and my day started at like
I know today was early.
5-ish in the morning.
Oh, I didn't have to get up that early. Sorry.
No, I just woke up and couldn't go back to sleep.
Ah, those are the
Yeah.
worst mornings sometimes.
I
Well,
know.
It was a Saturday, so maybe. you
And
guys-
then I got out of bed, and the wife's like, "Oh, you can't sleep either." So I just came out in the kitchen and made coffee.
I mean, sometimes it's just like might as well start your day, right?
Yeah.
Grind a little bit extra.
So thank you everybody for being here. All that good stuff. Definitely smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff, guys.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll be doing our normal schedule next week. Mikkel should be back this weekend or Monday or something like that. I don't know how much extra he was staying out there for.
Looking for him tomorrow morning. Or no, wait, that was this morning. This morning.
Was he on his way back this morning?
I missed everything this morning. I was busy.
So I know he was complaining about taking the red-eye flight on one of the directions.
Oh, like Sunday?
So he might be like getting back tomorrow. So.
Oh shit! What's today? Sunday.
Today's the 27th. We are like more than half the year is gone.
We got Patreon tomorrow, don't we?
Oh snaps! Is it the last? Oh my lord! Yes, you are right, dude. Tomorrow's Patreon, so all you wrenches out there, we're gonna be doing something in the Patreon for the Patreon people.
Oh yeah.
Been so busy trying to like get my my business off the ground for home, so I can make some good money working at home and save me some luce.
Yeah.
While earning what I believe I'm worth.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I really hope that something happens soon. The money is so crazy right now.
Oh, the dollar's is gonna crash. It's gonna be bad, and that's why we all have Bitcoin, gold, and silver.
Buy Bitcoin, buy the HODLs,
and hodl that shit. And with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and peace out right here. Thank you everybody for being here. All that good stuff. All wrenches. We're gonna do something for you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
Get together. We'll do something.
Stay savage. And may your watts be low and your hash be high. We'll see you on the next one.